This story is true. It was told by Jim Littig, a former U.S. Army airborne officer who fought in Vietnam. Many years after the war, he finally spoke about a battle near the Cambodian border, a place where the line between life and death was so thin that survival itself did not always come with the recognition it deserved. This is not a story of victory, but a memory left behind on the battlefield. The incident happened during the later phase of an operation, when our unit was moved up to the Cambodian border. At the time, we had no idea that we were positioned right next to a major North Vietnamese base, a staging area that may have held 200 or 300 troops. That morning, a few soldiers from the unit went down to a nearby stream to collect water. They unexpectedly ran into 4 or 5 North Vietnamese soldiers, and gunfire erupted almost immediately. Within moments, we realized the terrifying truth. We were right beside a fully established enemy base. At that time, the unit had just received a new company commander. I won't mention his name, but I can say he was not a good leader. In the Vietnam War, every American soldier served a fixed one-year tour, which meant that at a certain point, all combat experience in a unit could disappear at once. Earlier, we had been sent south in preparation for what was believed to be a major attack on Saigon during Tet in 1969. We trained for urban combat, but that attack never truly materialized. After that, we were moved up to the Cambodian border, and that's where this fight occurred. Before the deployment, something unusual happened in the 2nd Battalion, 505th Regiment. Several officers were pulled from the unit and reassigned elsewhere. As a joke, we placed small bets with each other. Everyone put in some money, and whoever's name was called first would take the pot. The first name called was mine. I was preparing to leave the unit and transfer to the 101st Airborne Division. I had even had the 101st patch sewn onto my uniform, but an officer named Jack Todd went to the battalion commander and expressed concern about my departure, and as a result, I was kept in the unit. I stayed on as the executive officer of Alpha Company, and not long afterward, we moved up to the Cambodian border. When the fighting started, everything happened very fast. We called in ammunition resupply, food resupply, and medevac helicopters to evacuate the wounded. In the middle of all that, I saw 3 or 4 brand new soldiers being dropped in by helicopter. It was their first day in combat, and they were being inserted straight into an ongoing firefight. I didn't let them do anything. I told them to sit near the landing zone and not move. I told them, don't go anywhere, don't do anything, just wait for orders. In a situation like that, you don't throw new soldiers into the fight. That's the fastest way to lose them. Later, we made contact with a large tunnel complex. A non-commissioned officer named Sergeant Blas moved forward. He not only identified enemy positions, but repeatedly entered the tunnel system himself, marking targets with smoke so artillery and air support could be directed accurately. We, as airborne soldiers, had learned a hard lesson. The most dangerous moment is always the first contact with the enemy. Our tactic was to maintain contact, call in artillery behind the enemy to seal them in, and then destroy them. This approach differed from the methods used by the 1st Cavalry Division, and it made their division commander very unhappy, but it saved our lives. While directing fire, Blas was wounded. The wound wasn't severe, but despite that, he continued returning to the tunnel complex multiple times to mark targets. When the battle was over, I decided to recommend him for the Medal of Honor. I didn't have any paperwork. The only thing I could find to write on was the packaging from a sea ration, so I wrote the recommendation on that. In the end, Blas was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross. His case was reviewed 3 times. The last time, when I was working in a congressional liaison office, they interviewed me again about his actions. Later, I asked a friend who worked at the Army Personnel Center why Blas hadn't been awarded the Medal of Honor. He answered me very directly, simply because Blas didn't die. If he had died, he would have received it. The Distinguished Service Cross is not a minor award, but in my opinion, Sergeant Blas truly deserved the Medal of Honor.